Good morning, friends. My name is Amanda Esko, and I am our Director of Religious Education here at First Church. I want to welcome all of our visitors and friends, everyone joining us on Zoom. Thank you all for being here today. I do want to lift up that we've had to change our order of service a little bit from the printed version. If you grabbed one in the back, Reverend Jay needed to leave town for a family situation. They're fine, but we had to change our order of service because of that. So we appreciate your grace within that. Now, for our service today, in the spirit of doing things slightly different, I'm going to tell you to do something that I don't usually do at the beginning. You get to touch your ritual boxes right now. So at the end of your pews, you have all your ritual boxes. And inside, you have those tiny heart stickers. Everyone needs to get a heart sticker and then put it on your shirt and forget about it. Okay? So do that right now while I am saying the rest of the announcements. Okay, tomorrow night is our community dinner. It starts at 6. We'll break into groups at 6:45. So many things. Last week I came to you and I was all like, I don't think we have enough stuff. And then you all came to me and said, well, we could do. So we have a bunch of we could do's. Creativity matters. Derek's book club is reading A History of the World in 10.5 chapters. Immigration Justice is holding a whistleblower training. Jim French is going to teach us how to survive off the grid, y'all. And this week we're learning how to dehydrate apples. So each month he's bringing us a new skill that you can put in practice. So that's cool. We'll have yoga. There'll be our kids and community group. There'll be community Valentine's projects with the caring team. Our fiber arts group is going to be making the World War II Norwegian Red Resistance hats. So if you're excited about that, all of our yarn art friends, bring your red yarn, and we're going to learn about that too. Bell ringing. David promises that if he teaches you how to ring the bell, he'll actually let you do it now. So you can learn how to bell ring with David and Jack. And Social Justice is hosting a movie. We have so many things happening tomorrow night. There's a pocket for you to fill in. It's going to be a fun time. Starts at 6, potluck dinner. Summer Forum. I know it just turned February, but we're going to talk about summer, friends. Summer Forum planning has started. So if you're interested in helping shape Summer Forum this year, go up to 219 after. You can do it after either worship service this week and next week. Similarly, next week and this week, you'll be writing letters for the Great Salt Lake at 12:45 in room 201. You're going to learn how to write your legislators about this important work. So that's in room 201, 12:45, writing for the Great Salt Lake. And then our friends at Friendship Manor need our help. They have a $9.5 million plumbing problem. That is not insignificant. Because of that, they have an appropriations package up at the state legislature, and they need your help writing your legislators in support of this appropriations package. So if you could talk with Louise Ewing or Vicki Brunstetter in Elliott Hall after the service, they can fill you in on what they need, but they need you to be emailing your legislators tonight. Now, it's time for our chalice. I'd like to invite Polly up.
You dissolve a place that welcomes your becoming, that knows your fire is not too much, your silence not too little.
With that, I invite you to stand in body or spirit for our opening hymn, hymn 1012, Lean on Me. And I would recommend that we learn from first service to listen to David for the rhythm. 10:21, lean on me. David's got the rhythm. Better than 9 a.m. Good job, 11 a.m., guys. All right, it is a new month, and we are excited to invite Hana Harper, our lay minister today, with our lay ministry theme that I learned is strength.
When I was pregnant with my third child, Liam, I decided to work towards a different kind of birth. I had received an epidural for my first 2 births, and I wanted a natural birth instead, not as a badge of honor, but as a spiritual experience. And if you think that I chose that so that I could stand here and brag to you about it 15 years later, I assure you I did not. That would not have been near enough motivation. I will give a disclaimer as well that I am absolutely a believer in epidurals, and I was a grateful recipient of an epidural for my other 3 births. But in any case, I had read about what the body and the mind can do when deeply trained, and I wanted to experience it firsthand. I wanted a kind of ancestral birth experience. So I enrolled in a Marie Mongan hypnobirthing class. The premise behind this method is that the pain cycle typically experienced during childbirth can be bypassed by engaging a different part of the nervous system. This allows the body to open instead of tighten. So I read the book, attended the class, and practiced for months. Reese was my willing coach. I did breath work, guided visualizations, and listened to special recordings daily, all in an effort to retrain my nervous system to soften rather than to resist. This demanded a lot of presence, discipline, and a willingness to let go. When the moment arrived, we were, of course, thrilled to meet our precious baby boy. And while it's not always the case, the hypnobirthing method I had trained in did work as I had hoped. It was a uniquely calm and personal experience. What surprised me, though, wasn't just the beauty of it all. It was the connection I felt to women across history who have birthed babies under far harsher conditions. They didn't have epidurals or even hospital beds, but they had the wisdom of their mothers, grandmothers, and community. Woven through this entire experience was this sense of strength, not just my own, but inherited strength from so many who had preceded me. So that day in the labor delivery room, I gained a new sense of self. I learned I didn't have to tighten to control the situation when things got hard. I learned that sometimes being strong looks like softening in the face of intense conditions. Of course, childbirth is one of many moments that ask us to soften. Intense moments in life are not foreign to any of us, whether we choose them or not. There are difficult conversations, a diagnosis, the loss of something we expected to last, or an unexpected turn in the road. Our instinct in these moments is often to grasp for control or to resist what is happening. I know it is for me. But there is a cost of resistance. When we brace and tighten, we increase the very suffering we try to avoid. What I began to understand that day is that softening is not giving up. Softening allows us to stay present enough to meet our lives with courage. The Tao teaches that allowing, not forcing, is what reduces suffering. The Tao teaches this principle with the metaphor of water. Water doesn't fight the rock in its path or panic when the terrain changes. It flows. And over time, water has the strength to shape even the hardest stone. Thus, what is soft is often extraordinarily powerful. One last disclaimer, softening is not the same as passivity. It's choosing to respond with awareness rather than reactivity. Life brings each of us moments of uncertainty, transition, loss, and change. Our current circumstances, personally, collectively, and in the wider world, are certainly no exception. When these moments arrive, may we have the strength to soften and the courage to respond to what lies before us.
Captain Jane Kirk of the starship Plagiarize. We have just landed next to the starship Argentina. This is my crew. First Mate Spock, Engineer Scotty, and our medical officer, Dr. McCoy.
We have come from a galaxy far, far away to help you launch your pledge drive. We see that you have included children. Very wise. Next year, add puppies.
Damn it, Jane. I object to your use of children in this way.
Excuse me, strange people, but may we continue?
Yes, only if the congregation gives them a very big round of applause when they're done.
Was the perfect song. We understand that you have added visiting stewards to your pledge drive. Very wise. Oh! Look! It's Data. It's Data from Star Trek The Next Generation with something very large.
Hi! Oh, that's a mighty big thermometer you have there. Good thing these androids are a sturdy bunch.
I'm here for the millennials. Should there be any around. I found this strange object in the transporter room. Looks like the goal is $700,000.
$700,000! Aye, Captain! It's too high! The congregation can't go there! They're gonna blow!
There, I've cured your horrible accent.
Scotty, it will not be a problem. Logically, if everyone in the congregation raises their pledge by 15%, they'll make their goal.
Line!
Yes, we salute you. You are a congregation who is going boldly where no other congregation, known as the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City, has ever gone before.
You are boldly aspiring to $700,000, our highest goal yet. And you've already pledged over $120,000.
And you are boldly reaching out with visiting stewards.
Who are not Klingons.
And will not practice the Vulcan nerve twitch on you.
Though they may offer you a cup of coffee, so please respond to the stewards.
Our work is done here.
Beam us up, Scotty.
Beam up, Scotty! It's only in the parking lot. You just gotta walk there. Just walk there.
I thought I cured that.
Live long
and prosper and
pledge.
Oh, we give thanks, for this precious day, for all gathered here, and those far away, for this time we share, with love and care. Oh, we give thanks, for this precious day. Yes, today is officially the beginning of our annual stewardship campaign, but we also make time during every worship service to express our generosity and our gratitude for this wonderful community that we all call home. Today, being the first Sunday of the month, we are delighted to share this morning's offering with an organization in our community that shares our values. This morning, 50% of everything given in the plate and through our online offering will be shared with Stewardship Utah. I'd like to invite forward Chandler Rosenberg, who will tell you all about their work.
Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for having me. I'm a proud convert to the First Unitarian Church after this morning's service. This is so much fun. So I work with Stewardship Utah. We got started in June of 2024. We're the product of a merger between an organization called O2 Utah, which was focused on air quality, and the Rural Utah Project, which was focused mostly on public lands and voting access, especially on the Navajo Nation down in southern Utah. So we do environmental policy and elections. So we get involved. We have a C3 and a C4, so we can recruit people to run for office, support their campaign however they want. If anyone here is interested in running for office, would love to chat. And then once those people get in office, we hope to work with them on policy. So we are a nonpartisan organization. We work with both parties, but we end up often working with, the more moderate Republicans that care about the environment. So we've got land policy, water policy, which is my focus, air quality, clean energy, and democracy policy that we all work on. So within the water policy space, I'm working at the local level, trying to, move forward conservation with cities. And then I'm up at the legislature, so I've got 2 bills I'm working on this session, one looking at data center water use and another looking at grass. And then I'm also really interested in improving the dialogue around especially water policy. I've found there's a lot of misinformation or just, misunderstanding, lack of coordination. So I host, panels and community conversations, town halls with legislators. I'm doing one this spring with House Speaker Mike Schultz, the Great Salt Lake Commissioner, and a farmer to talk about agriculture and water issues. So just trying to do whatever we can to get people more engaged and, advance environmental policy here in Utah. So we've got some information out in the hall. If you'd like to chat afterwards, I'd love to tell you more about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give as generously as you're able as the plates come around. You can also use the QR code that should be in the seat back in front of you. Now, usually we take this time to say hello to one another, wish each other a happy Sunday, but instead we're going to do that part later in the service. But for now, as the plates come around, we invite you to listen appreciatively to the junior singers who have worked very hard to bring you their music today.
A long time ago, a million years BC, the best things in life were absolutely free, but no one appreciated a sky that was always blue, and no one congratulated a moon that was always new. So it was planned that they would vanish now and then, and you must pay before you get them back again.
Can we just say thank you one more time to our fantastic junior singers? Thank you for being leaders in our congregation. And thank you also to Miss Nikki and Mr. David. Couldn't do it without them. Very important. So I just got back from a ministers' conference in Albuquerque where dozens of my colleagues were arriving directly from Minneapolis, where they were on the streets witnessing the federal occupation of that city. They marched, they stood guard at the memorials of those who died. A few got arrested. Hearing their stories, I was in awe of how Unitarian Universalism shows up when the world cries out for justice. My friend and colleague, the Reverend Ashley Horan, has been reporting to us from her neighborhood in South Minneapolis, where she and her wife lived just a few blocks from where Renee Good was murdered a few weeks ago. She's been helping to raise money for her neighbors, donations that are buying thousands of dollars worth of gas masks, goggles, earplugs, socks, gloves, hats, coats, snow pants, medic supplies for 1,000 first aid kits, phone batteries and warm phone pouches, hand and toe warmers, and soup for cold people during neighborhood ice patrols, she says. So much soup. She's also been showing us the kinds of care that have been happening in her neighborhood. A group of men shovel sidewalks so that people can move around. A mom brings a cooler full of hot, freshly made pupusas from her kitchen to share with anyone who passes by. Parents are showing up after school to walk other people's kids home so their parents can stay safe. A church mobilizes to take boxes of groceries to families confined to their homes. An adult toy shop becomes a hub for diaper collection. I had a good laugh the other day while scrolling on social media and learning that some right-wing blog bros are seeing all this community organizing and mutual aid and have decided that the only way it could possibly be happening is if some really wealthy shadow organization is paying people to do it. Like, dude, have you ever been to a school bake sale or a church picnic? Ordinary people organize things like this all the time, and nobody's ever paid me for it. Am I right, parents? I'm not sure whether these bloggers are more astounded at the outpouring of generosity or at the possibility that people are jumping in to help because they want to, because they believe in it. They want to be part of something bigger. Because Americans are sick of being isolated and divided and told that the purpose of our lives is to accumulate more stuff. And when an opportunity comes along to be part of something real, we don't really have to think about it. It comes naturally. Well, I'm not astounded at all. First of all, people on the political left in this country have been practicing and training in nonviolent resistance for decades. It's a religious practice for us. But even for people without training, heck, even for people who aren't on the political left, the desire to help and the desire to give are really two parts of the same thing. The desire to be in genuine community. Giving, receiving, and helping are what makes civil society function. It's what we used to just think of as neighborliness. Of course, authoritarians don't want people to be neighborly. They don't want us to get to know our neighbors. They would prefer to see us spying on our neighbors, ratting them out, or just watching passively as they get whatever they deserve, as though they had nothing to do with us. But that's a very unnatural state of being. Human communities are built on cooperation. What we're seeing in Minneapolis and in other cities is what we see when a community is pressed to the edge of a crisis and they have no choice but to lean into love or lose everything to fear. But seeing this makes people everywhere wonder, what if you could have that kind of community without the crisis? It seems like we shouldn't have to face down an authoritarian regime to achieve what should come so naturally to us. I think this is why people are drawn to churches like ours. Even if they aren't interested in religious dogma, even if they don't feel particularly spiritual, there are so few places in our society where the infrastructure already exists to practice living in the world we dream about. On some level, we understand that just showing up with a cooler of pupusas will go a long way, but it's not enough by itself to create community that lasts. Having a regular meeting place and some paid professionals to manage everything helps a lot. Having a system of governance that actually represents people makes a big difference too. And we as Unitarian Universalists have discovered that having some formal agreements about how we live together makes living together as neighbors sustainable for a lifetime. We call it covenant. I get a glimpse of that better world on some Thursday afternoons when the hallway outside my office is full of the smells of burritos and the sound of laughter coming from the kitchen. I just have to poke my head in and say hello to our Tai Chi volunteers who are helping ease the suffering of homelessness just a little. I get a glimpse of that better world when I attend a demonstration or a hearing on Capitol Hill and I run into half a dozen of our church members who took the day off to show up and raise their voices. Or when I walk through Elliott Hall and see dozens of busy people with their heads down, writing letters to voters or lawmakers. I get a glimpse of that better world when I see our facilities management team gathered in the chapel on Teams night to discuss all the little projects that need doing in our historic buildings. Or on the fourth Monday of the month, as our Board of Trustees lights their chalice to begin their monthly meeting with the reading of their covenant. I get a glimpse of that better world when I let the caring team know that someone is sick in our community and I see them jump into action to send cards or drive a meal over, even for someone they've never met, because there are no strangers in this church, only friends we haven't met yet. Same goes for my small group of newcomers, which actually is not a small group, it's a big group, way too big. I see people who are taking a chance on making friends with people who might share their values, who just might become lifelong friends if they stick with it. Everywhere I turn at First Unitarian Church, I see people not just talking about it, but being about it. Practicing because although community and cooperation come naturally to humans, it doesn't mean that it comes without struggles and even conflict sometimes. We know that each of us has some work we could be doing on ourselves, and being in community with others sometimes shows us just where that work is. But we keep showing up to do it because the rewards of that work are so precious. During this year's pledge campaign, as you know, we are inviting you to meet with a visiting steward and share with each other what you love about your church. Think of it as getting to know one neighbor. And every time one neighbor gets to know another neighbor, our community grows stronger. So I invite you to start this morning with our intergenerational ritual.
So we know that we start building this community at a personal level by connecting with one another. Community care starts with a level of care that's hyper-local, centered, at least here, around love. So today we're going to keep building our community and creating that web. And we're going to do that by finding another person that has your same color heart, hence why you needed it. I didn't tell you why. So you're going to find somebody that has, or a couple somebodies, that has the same color heart. And if you are able, oi, my friends, I haven't given directions yet. Terrible adults. Okay, you have 2 questions to ask one another. The first question is, what brings you to First Church and what makes you feel like you belong here? Feel free to get up and move around. Now go forth and find your sticker friends.
Rise with me. The song is number 1053. Our closing words today are by my friend and colleague, the Reverend Sherry Woodbury. Let us continue to grow as citizens of our communities, our nation, and our world. Let us work to build the common good for ourselves and the generations to come. Friends, our service is concluded for today. David will play some music as we go out. Please watch your mailbox for your pledge card. Fill it out as soon as you can, and thank you so much for your generosity.